What up, everybody? How's it going? YouTube Live. Woo! Staying up late on a Wednesday night. Oh, not Wednesday morning, I should say. It's midnight right now. What up, everybody? Okay, I just finished watching the Book of Boba Fett episode 2 or chapter 2. And so before I go to bed, I figured I'd share with you my thoughts about it. And as always, a reminder or a heads up. This review is mainly for those of you who have also already watched today's episode 2 or chapter 2. So, spoiler alert, there will be spoilers in this video. Okay, so last week I wasn't too impressed with the premiere episode. I mentioned to you that it kind of left me feeling, yeah, unimpressed. I wanted more, and it didn't give me more. It was like so just bland. And I mentioned to you that as cool as Boba Fett is, he's not necessarily my favorite Star Wars character. But I gotta be honest with you. Today's chapter 2 actually was pretty interesting. It got interesting. It got enjoyable. I'm liking, or I was really into the whole thing. Well, for one, there seems to be a story now. Whereas last week's premiere episode, I was looking like I was trying to, where's the story here? Where's it going? I know, trying to grab whatever I could get out of it, but it wasn't giving it to me. And so, but today there's a story, right? With the whole I like the conflict with the mayor. That's pretty cool. I like the assassin part. Turns out if you want to get an assassin to spill the beans, basically you just gotta scare the bejesus out of him. Um, because at the core of it, everybody just wants to survive. But he's like, I was just waiting for some monster or something, come out of that, from inside that pit. But apparently that's just a bluff. So kudos on Fennec for pulling that off. Um, but yeah, so there's a story there. There's and the mystery of who actually sent the assassins to go after Boba Fett. So that's another layer of that's of a story that we can follow. One that at least captures my curiosity. Um, and also the story regarding the flashback, which, as you know, is filling in the blanks, filling in or answering many of the questions or of where Boba Fett had been all this time. So that's pretty cool. Last week, we only got a glimpse of that, and it was just a showcase of him. Like, oh my God, he can battle a monster. Kudos to you, you can battle a monster. But I was expecting more than just that. So today we got that, something more in the form of, um, I would say, if you are a fan of Western like me, you would geek out at the whole sequence of Jesse James uh, trying to take down the train, sort of a deal, which becomes the runaway train in this case. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a whole sequence of oh, we got to take down the long speed raider. So it's like, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So Boba Fett like um, pretty much stole a bunch of land riders, and I like that whole sequence as well because it kind of it's also an emblem of a western, where there's a bar brawl, um, and you see the hero entrance as the cowboy kind of bursts in through the door and starts beating everybody up. So we know that Star Wars is sort of like Western, but today's episode, takes it up a notch. Today's episode really, really gets that westernness into into high gear. It really like showcases it for you. The whole the western nature of this whole franchise. It was on full display on today's episode, and I loved it. I loved it. Um, yeah, and I also feel like Temuera is really coming into his own on this episode compared to the last week's premiere episode. You know, today is like he's really, he's really more comfortable in in this character, even though he's played this character before. But it really shows this time around, especially when he's like kicking ass, and he's teaching them kind of driver's ed on the Land Riders, the Tuscans, I mean. So I was like, okay, this is Boba Fett in action, and at the end of that whole sequence, when he's like, behaving like a boss, sort of like a mob boss, because as you know, this is also about the the underworld criminal, if you will, the nature of that show, of this show, I'm sorry. So when he's behaving like a mob boss at the end, it's like, okay, I need to speak to you, like, who's the spy, stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is Boba Fett coming into his own, basically, after whatever ordeal that happened to him before. Now, the whole scene with him getting high, that thing cracked me up. That lizard going up the nose, my first reaction was like, ew, man, there's gotta be a less gross way of getting some enlightenment. But I can't wait to see what those visions. Well, some of it, like, I think it's in the past, but I think some of those visions indicate something that's gonna happen in the subsequent episodes. So I can't wait for that to unveil itself as well. In addition to the whole, the mayor and whoever actually sent the assassins to kill him or to hunt him down. So in addition to that, so like I said earlier, finally the story is forming. I can see, you know, parts of it becoming more interesting than last week. At least a part of me is now more curious than I was. It's like, oh, I can't wait to see this next. See, that's always like the key, right? If you can get me to say, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens next. That means you already hooked me in, man. That means the show is successful and hooked me in. Last week's premiere, it did not do that for me, but today's episode definitely did. Um, a few more comments before I go to bed. Um, because I didn't mention this last week. Actress Jennifer Beals, who plays, let's see what the character's name is here. Garza Whip. I apologize if I mispronounced that. But I love her. I've been a big fan of hers for a while. Of course, a lot of us knew her from Flashdance and the L Word and the Taken series. And I'm just happy to see that she is a part of this show. Um, and it seems like she's a series regular, so that's cool. Oh, I almost forgot. The last thing is, remember I told you last week that this show is gonna be just an excuse to bring in other bounty hunters. Maybe bounty hunters from even the animated Star Wars shows. They'll be like, "Oh, here's the live action version of it. Ta-da!" Well, we haven't seen plenty of those yet, but today we got teased by the presence of Wookiee bounty hunter, warrior Wookiee. So, I mean, that's one. Not sure if I overlook or I miss some of the others, but that's an indicator that there's gonna be more, and this is gonna be a big powwow of Star Wars bounty hunters, either from Boba Fett's past or the ones whom he haven't met yet. And I hope I hope it'll lead to some badass duel among them. So yeah, pretty cool episode, interesting story. Now I'm getting on this ride. It's pretty awesome. I'm not bored anymore, and I love that whole Jesse James, train sequence, the whole Western vibe of this show, the bar brawl, everything, the hero entrance, the Boba Fett becoming Boba Fett, Boba Fett teaching Tuscans. I love it. I love it. That whole show, the episode today, directed by Dave Filoni and Steph Green, who has an impressive resume. I think she directed Watchmen series on HBO and also The Man in the High Castle. So congratulations to Dave and Steph for a wonderful chapter 2 or episode 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. Can't wait for next week, so make sure you tune in as well. Share your thoughts if you have seen today's episode or today's chapter 2. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting something else? And share your theories. What is gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen next week and the rest of the this season? There will be a total of 7 episodes, by the way. So now it's we're down to 5 more to go. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am gonna bet right now it is 1:18 a.m. in the morning, California time. I gotta go to bed. All right. As always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's rock this.